You might know the McAfee name from antivirus alerts, but do you know the real story of John David McAfee? In this video, we break down his impact on cybersecurity, his rise to fame, and the major events that made his life impossible to ignore. John David McAfee, September 18, 1945 to June 23, 2021, was a British and American computer programmer, businessman, and two-time U.S. presidential candidate who unsuccessfully sought the Libertarian Party nomination for President of the United States in 2016 and in 2020. In 1987, he wrote the first commercial antivirus software, founding McAfee Associates to sell his creation. He resigned in 1994 and sold his remaining stake in the company. McAfee became the company's most vocal critic in later years, urging consumers to uninstall the company's antivirus software, which he characterized as bloatware. He disavowed the company's continued use of his name and branding, a practice that has persisted in spite of a short-lived corporate rebrand attempt under Intel ownership. McAfee's fortunes plummeted in the 2008 financial crisis. After leaving McAfee Associates, he founded the company's Tribal Voice, makers of the Powwow chat program, QuorumX, and Future Tense Central, among others, and was involved in leadership positions in the company's EveryKey, MGT Capital Investments, and LuxCorp, among others. His personal and business interests included smartphone apps, cryptocurrency, yoga, light sport aircraft, and recreational drug use. He resided for multiple years in Belize, but returned to the United States in 2013 while wanted in Belize for questioning on suspicion of murder. McAfee was a vocal advocate for privacy and personal freedom, central to his libertarian campaigns in 2016 and 2020. He opposed government surveillance and supported cryptocurrency as a way to reduce state control over financial systems. He framed his legal issues, including tax evasion charges, as resistance to unjust government overreach. In October 2020, McAfee was arrested in Spain over U.S. tax evasion charges. U.S. federal prosecutors brought criminal and civil charges alleging that McAfee had failed to file income taxes over a 4-year period. On June 23, 2021, he was found dead due to an apparent suicide by hanging in his prison cell near Barcelona shortly after the Spanish National Court authorized his extradition to the U.S. His death generated speculation and theories about the possibility that he was murdered. McAfee's wife, Janice McAfee, said she did not believe McAfee died by suicide. McAfee was employed as a programmer by NASA from 1968 to 1970. From there, he went to UNIVAC as a software designer and later to Xerox as an operating system architect. In 1978, he joined Computer Sciences Corporation as a software consultant. He worked for consulting firm Booz Allen Hamilton from 1980 to 1982. In 1986, while employed by Lockheed, he read about the brain-computer virus made for the PC, and he found it terrifying. Sensing a business opportunity, he went about creating an antivirus software that could detect the computer virus and remove it automatically. In 1987, McAfee created McAfee Associates, Inc. to sell this software, which he named VirusScan. This was the first antivirus software brought to market and one of the first software products to be distributed over the Internet, McAfee Associates. Initially, McAfee did not seek a large user base of paying users, but rather wanted to raise awareness of the need to be protected from computer viruses. However, by making people fear such malware, he managed to generate millions of sales, and by 1990 he was making $5 million a year. The company was incorporated in Delaware in 1992 and had its initial public offering the same year. In August 1993, McAfee stepped down as chief executive and remained with the company as the chief technical officer. He was succeeded by Bill Larson. In 1994, he sold his remaining stake in the company. He had no further involvement in its operations. After various mergers and ownership changes, Intel acquired McAfee in August 2010. In January 2014, Intel announced that McAfee-related products would be marketed as Intel Security. McAfee expressed his pleasure at the name change, saying, I am now everlastingly grateful to Intel for freeing me from this terrible association with the worst software on the planet. The business was soon de-merged from Intel, once more under the McAfee name. McAfee advocated for the decriminalization of cannabis, an end to the war on drugs, non-interventionism in foreign policy, a free market economy which does not redistribute wealth, and upholding free trade. He supported abolishing the Transportation Security Administration. McAfee advocated increased cyber awareness and more action against the threat of cyber warfare. He pushed religious liberty, saying that business owners should be able to deny service in circumstances that contradict their religious beliefs, adding, "No one is forcing you to buy anything or to choose one person over another, so why should I be forced to do anything if I am not harming you? It's my choice to sell, your choice to buy." McAfee contended that taxes were illegal and claimed in 2019 that he had not filed a tax return since 2010. He referred to himself as a prime target of the Internal Revenue Service. In July 2017, McAfee predicted on Twitter that the price of a Bitcoin would jump to $500,000 within 3 years, adding, "If not, I will eat my own dick on national television." In July 2019, he predicted a price of $1 million by the end of 2020. In January 2020, he tweeted that his predictions were a ruse to onboard new users and that Bitcoin had limited potential because it is an ancient technology. On the 8th of September 2015, McAfee announced a bid for President of the United States in the 2016 presidential election as the candidate of a newly formed political party called the Cyber Party. On December 24, 2015, he re-announced his candidacy bid, saying that he would instead seek the presidential nomination of the Libertarian Party. On the campaign trail, he consistently polled alongside the party's other top candidates, Gary Johnson and Austin Peterson. The three partook in the Libertarian Party's first nationally televised presidential debate on March 29, 2016. His running mate was photographer, commercial real estate broker, and libertarian activist Judd Weiss. McAfee came in second in the primaries and third at the 2016 Libertarian National Convention. McAfee was named a defendant in a 2008 civil court case related to his aero-trekking light sport aircraft venture and the death of nephew Joel Baito and a passenger. On April 30, 2012, McAfee's property in Orange Walktown, Belize was raided by the gang suppression unit of the Belize Police Department. A GSU press release said he was arrested for unlicensed drug manufacturing and possession of an unlicensed weapon. He was released without charge. In December 2012, McAfee told a Wired reporter that from 2010 to 2011, he had made several posts to the drug discussion forum. Blue Light discussing his use and manufacturing of the stimulant drug MDPV under the alias Stuffmonger. As of March 2024, the Stuffmonger account had made 220 posts on the site in 2010 and early 2011. In 2012, Belize Police spokesman Rafael Martinez confirmed that McAfee was neither convicted nor charged, only suspected. In January 2014, while in Canada, he said that when the Belizean government raided his property, it seized his assets, and that his house later burned down under suspicious circumstances. On August 2, 2015, McAfee was arrested in Henderson County, Tennessee, on one count of driving under the influence and one count of possession of a firearm while intoxicated. In July 2019, McAfee and members of his entourage were arrested while his yacht was docked at Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, on suspicion of carrying high-caliber weapons and ammunition. They were held for 4 days and released. 98 weapons were seized, according to the public ministry. On August 11, 2020, McAfee falsely stated that he was arrested in Norway during the COVID-19 pandemic after refusing to replace a lace thong with a more effective face mask. He later tweeted a picture of himself with a bruised eye, claiming it occurred during this arrest. A photo of the alleged arrest shows an officer with the German word for police on his uniform, ostensibly invalidating McAfee's claim of having been arrested in Norway. The Augsburg police later said he tried to enter Germany on that day but was not arrested. On November 12, 2012, Belize police began to search for McAfee as a person of interest in connection to the homicide investigation of American immigrant Gregory Viant Fall, who was found dead of a gunshot wound the day before at his home on the island of Ambergris Caye, the largest island in Belize. Fall was a neighbor of McAfee's. In a contemporary interview with Wired, McAfee said he had been afraid police would kill him and refused their routine questions and evaded them. He buried himself in sand for several hours with a cardboard box over his head. Belize's Prime Minister, Dean Barrow, called him extremely paranoid, even bonkers. He fled Belize rather than cooperate. On June 23, 2021, McAfee was found dead in his prison cell, hours after the Spanish National Court ordered his extradition to the United States on criminal charges filed in Tennessee by the United States Department of Justice Tax Division. The Catalan Justice Department said everything indicates he killed himself by hanging. An official autopsy confirmed his suicide. A Spanish court also ruled McAfee died by suicide. McAfee's death ignited speculation and conspiracy theories about the possibility that he was murdered. Such speculation was particularly fueled by a 2019 post McAfee made on Twitter that read, in part, "If I suicide myself, I didn't. I was whacked sick." McAfee's death drew comparisons to the circumstances of the death of American financier Jeffrey Epstein, who was found dead in August 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking. Several times, McAfee said if he were ever found dead by hanging, it would mean he was murdered. The day after his death, his lawyer told reporters that he regularly maintained contact with McAfee in prison and saw no signs of suicidal intent. McAfee's widow reaffirmed this position in her first public remarks since her husband's death and also called for a thorough investigation. On December 14, 2023, the morgue delivered McAfee's body to his family to be taken to the United States for his funeral. Until then, it had been kept in a refrigerator at the Justice City of Barcelona. In a November 2023 interview with Cointelegraph, McAfee's widow Janice McAfee said that he died without a will or estate, which left her without any money, and that she was working odd jobs to make ends meet. In January 2025, McAfee's X, formerly Twitter account, became active announcing the launch of a meme coin cryptocurrency and a chatbot entitled Antivirus. A day later, McAfee's widow Janice McAfee, who had access to the account, wrote that his account was not hacked and that the meme coin and chatbot were created to honor John's legacy and his memory, which generated a number of critical responses over it being a potential scam. As of January 2025, the meme coin has a market capitalization of $37 million, though the Antivirus X account was later suspended.